You might be looking at BFDIE and saying, what's the point of this? Why does this even exist? A lot of people would tell you that BFDIE is just for silliness and JJ to do something small for once in a few years. I call bullcrap. BFDIE isn't just for scats and giggles, it actually explains one of the biggest BFDI mysteries ever. A lot of people have been wondering why the BFDIE assets and the BFDI assets have been different in style. Well, it's because of the l-yoy-ser. I mean, it did to the LOLers and a bunch of other stuff. Why couldn't it do it to the BFDIE contestants before or BFDIE? Now, is that the end of the theory? Not even close. A lot of people used to think that the ATDs in the IDFB intro were for dropping off Woody, and Woody didn't actually die in BFDI 25. Although, in BFDIA 22, it was confirmed that he died. So what were the speaker boxes doing here, and when does this take place? Well, I think it was to save the BFDIE contestants and a bunch of other Yoyolians. From what, you may ask? Evil Leafy. What a surprise. My theory is that once the Yo-Yo government found out that Leafy could turn into evil Leafy, they kicked her out of Yo-Yo City and all her friends in case they got infected. That also could have been the reason that Golf Ball was hiding in IDFB 1. But once people saw this, they wanted her back. They wanted the power of evil Leafy. So they made a cult, built the Live Here Hotel, and tried to summon evil Leafy. And it worked. But now with evil Leafy on the loose, it caused panic. So the government tried to stop her, but she was smart. So she hid in someone without fully possessing them, just like she did with Flower, Spongy, and possibly Panflute. But the government was also smart. So by using the power of the Yo-Yo-Light from the Yo-Yo-Light mines, they made the enhancement l-yoy-ser. The original purpose of the l-yoy-ser was to take the power of evil Leafy out of the person and into the Yo-Yo-Light. But to not cause more panic, they used the mushrooms from that one cave to make you look better. So the l-yoy-ser will either make you look better or take the power of evil Leafy outside of you. But it malfunctioned. Instead of making evil Leafy weaker, it made her stronger. Now this is where the speaker boxes come from, whatever their planet is, with the ATDs. Their original goal was to probably harvest Yo-Yo-Light or something, but with all the evil Leafy stuff, they had to do a change of plans. So they saved the Yo-Yo-Lands, putting them into BFDIE as debuters and as recommended characters. Mainly so they won't be bored. But the question stands, why did BFDI happen? Well, it's because of Leafy. The main reason BFDI even existed was to look after Leafy in case she becomes evil Leafy. Again. But since that didn't happen all season, the announcer let his guard down and left on the finale. But that's right when evil Leafy came back. So announcer came back to keep an eye on Leafy again. I also think that announcer lied in BFB 29 about coming back just to host another season. Since Leafy died, announcer left again, but instructed Fiery Speaker Box to keep an eye on things in case she come back. And even after he stopped hosting, he still kept an eye on the contestants. Up until BFB 8 where he dies. So once announcer found out about this by watching BFB, he came back to Earth to watch Leafy. Again. Elsewhere. But why did he leave after BFB 30? I think that announcer planted another speaker box to watch over Leafy. And it worked! Up until one ruined it. I don't have a good transition for this, but let's go back to early BFDIA. So between BFDIA 1 and 2, when Leafy was in Yo-Yo Land, so she wanted to explore the vast Yo-Yo City. And she found the enhancement l-yoy-ser. You know where this is going. And so she used it. And seeing how it enhanced stuff, she wanted to enhance herself. So she used it on herself. And then the evil Leafy malfunction happened, making there be 2 evil Leafys. Now, I know this is a bold claim, but I have evidence. In BFDIA 17, Needle talks about how evil Leafy went from the cave to Yo-Yo Land. And why would they point this out if it was just for no reason? Am I right, Edvin? Not enough evidence for you? Well, in BFDIA 21, evil Leafy dies, but at the end of the episode, she comes back. How did she do this? Because there are 2 evil Leafys, possibly even more. Now, there isn't a lot of evidence for this, but BFDI has never been good at hinting. You just gotta work with what you got. Anyways, time for the part I say the things I didn't have a place to say. I have 2 things I want to talk about here. Let's start with the l-yoy-ser part first. If you go to the l-yoy-ser scene and read this panel, it says, excessive use could cause the energy within the l-yoy-ser to become unstable. So I don't think that the l-yoy-ser can never do its original job. So the Yo-Yo government and Leafy both overused it to make evil Leafy escape. Now on to the announcer part. I have evidence for the claim that announcer came back to hose the BFDIE because of Leafy. In Teapot 15, when Leafy is let into Dream Island, the timeline breaks. But why would this happen if announcer was just gonna continue the show anyway? Well, because announcer lied in BFB 29. I already said this. Also, I want to point out how announcer coming back was completely useless because evil Leafy and Leafy weren't together anymore. Anyways, I just remembered about TFI last minute, so now I'm gonna explain how this works for the timeline. Same story, announcer wanted to watch over Leafy. But once TFI ended, announcer built the Dream Island. The original purpose of Dream Island was to keep Leafy and evil Leafy contained, hence the walls being soundproof. But some fire face had to ruin it all by excluding her. Anyways, that's the end of the theory, okay?